What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. So I want to get right to basically what is happening and everything that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So I did a video kind of after hours yesterday, just based on everything that was coming out. Still very much accurate as of right now. So in case you do not know, they did dilute. So it's going to be closing tomorrow. So most likely around 1.67 billion is that combined dollar value. So 262 mil, that is going to be issued through Bank of America with a clause that within 30 days they can add up to another 39, and through a affiliate of the PIF 374 million. So a lot of dilution. A lot of people I see on social media trying to spin this as a positive. It's not good. And yes, companies such as Lucid, as what Peter has been stating during the last several fireside chats, when asked, he does say that Lucid's going to be needing a lot of money in the foreseeable future. I think that's kind of been the writing on the wall, and that's why I've been very frustrated every time I stream one of Lucid's earnings, and I think I've only missed one ever since 2021. Ultimately, I have called out their BS. A lot of people say that I'm bearish. I'm just, in my opinion, just reading the data, and a lot of the data has been saying that Lucid doesn't know how to accurately forecast shit. Pardon my French, because this is actually from their last Q2 earnings, for those of you that remember. And for those that remember from Q4, I even said in Q3 /4, basically Lucid is going to be needing to dilute, and here we are. But aside from that though, this is from their Q2 earnings. Supposedly Lucid had sufficient amount of cash up until well into, at least into the fourth quarter of 2025. So we're not in 2025. We're not even in Q1 2025. So I swear that every CFO that Lucid has is smoking crack or something. Like, it just is very just wrong. And the fact that Lucid had that tech and manufacturing day to really hype up investors, and a lot of these kind of things has been floating around, which they did rectify that. So they put up this video or episode 16, and they put back the episode 16. So they're really hyping up investors through all these videos. But just to go and dilute, I think that's just a red flag. But even if you're one of those individuals that likes to look at the actual numbers itself, like myself, it's like them kind of citing between 199 and 200 mil for the revenue, when analysts were forecasting 293. And I actually just brought that up in my video yesterday as well. This is a very, very big red flag. So it just goes to show that Lucid is going to be needing a lot of capital, and most likely until profitability, probably another like good $5 to probably $8 billion. So essentially that is going to be a lot of dilution. But the red flag that I did bring up in my video yesterday, if you kind of look at this document, so they submitted two SEC documents, one prospectus, three documents, a prospectus, which is registering shares, S3, and then a 8K. In this S3, it actually does talk on warrants. So I've already voiced my concern about the preferred shares in the past, and they're not saying it, they've never stated it, but I see that as their poison pill in case Lucid is really shitting the bed in the foreseeable future. Again, pardon my French. The PIF can easily just take over Lucid. So that's what the PIF and their affiliates can do to use to, again, take over like pretty much everything through those warrants. So it looks like Lucid is still looking at warrants. And so that is extremely damaging. Under my other channel, Trending Stocks, I cover and I call out a lot of these companies that rely on these debt instruments through convertibles. And a lot of that is just, yeah, it's good for the upfront money. It's more of like a payday loan. But when it comes down to the conversions afterwards, that is where dilution is magnified. So all in all, that's kind of what is affecting Lucid right now. Quickly popping over to IBKR, you have two new analyst ratings. One was done by Morgan Stanley, Adam Jonas, who reiterated their $3 sell rating. You also had Stefan with 𝗖𝗓𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, $4 hold. And so most likely a couple others will pop back up again. So probably Garrett and whatever else. So yeah, I think in general, it's not the best. And even leading into a lot of this data, like the technicals were pointing to Lucid really trending down. So the Elliott Wave technicals does have a pivot point of $3.76. So for as long as it is below that, then it is anticipated to be between that 260 and 279 range. So I think the news that happened today kind of just escalated that so much more. So yeah, that's kind of what is happening behind the scenes with Lucid as of right now. So I'm going to go over some data points and stuff like that. And I get it. I always have comments saying that I'm being too harsh on Lucid. In my opinion, you just have to not be emotional. And I think a lot of people either invested too much possibly in Lucid and are somewhat stuck. They're the ones that are saying that dilution is not bad, and potentially some people are even spinning it how it is more of the precursor for the Gravity. And that was actually what Lucid used in I think the tail end of Q1 or possibly Q2 when they issued that 1.5 billion. They did state that was for Gravity. So it's for them to need 3 billion potentially if you're counting this dilution for Gravity launch. Like Lucid will need to produce like hundreds of thousands of gravities to offset that this significant of dilution. So it's I don't know, I'm not impressed whatsoever. And the only thing that's really saving Lucid, in my opinion, from really getting hit is because the SEC 201 rule, so the uptick rule has been triggered. So it's really restricting shorts. So in case you guys don't know, that SEC rule 201, whenever a stock is down by more than 10%, shorts can't increase. They can return, but they cannot increase. And so this is why pretty much right out the gate, shorts were roughly around here. So 2.11 million shares are being increased. 28.49% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 255.36 million shares. So cost to borrow average did shoot up as well. So 19.16%. So that goes to show that demand is increasing. And so, yeah, tomorrow, once that uptick rule has been kind of taken down, this is where shorts will really try to suppress Lucid. So it's not a good scenario overall, but 1.68 million in calls, 5.88 million in puts. A lot of the options being done is somewhat neutral. And a lot of that is linked to this right here. So roughly 2.6 million between, it looks like 9:05 and 9:10. And a lot of that is oriented towards roughly around the $3 put for January 17th, 2025. So somewhat neutral given the price of that. But aside from that though, these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. You see roughly 3 buys, one for 140, 135, and then 244. Aside from that, just a hell of a lot of selling, even a big one right here. So 6.3 million. So big entities are selling. And I think that is fair to assume because institutions and everyone wants to see growth. They don't want to see this stuff right here about just kind of lowering that and also lowering most likely future guidance as a byproduct, not deliveries or production, but just revenue. It's yeah, very interesting scenario. But right now with it at $2.80, it's kind of flirting with this S3, currently below that though, but yeah, it needs to really get above that. Even leading into today, you had just the technicals looking somewhat bad overall. So I think just generally speaking, just there is a lot more downside coming based on that Elliott Wave technicals I did show you earlier. Number of retail investors seem to be getting out of Lucid as of right now. Stochastic, a bearish deviation, so red line above the white. And then on the actual chart, it is below pretty much all the key pivotal moving averages. So yeah, this is a quick summary of what is affecting Lucid, what's been coming out, and everything that you need to know. again, I'm here not to hype you guys up, not to get you guys to sell, just representing what the data is saying. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Even though Lucid is going down, what you can do is take advantage of this new promo. It gives you 8 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, so that is a very good deal. Link to that is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you guys watching.